Hello and welcome back to this Foundations of Your Yoga Practice. So today we'll be building on what we've learned in the previous 2 days, and we'll be looking at setting intentions and looking at some more standing postures. So an intention is a really good way to bring whatever is going on in your life into your yoga practice in a positive way. So we'll start in seated. Feel free to sit on a cushion or two if that feels better for your spine, and feel free to kneel if that also feels good. Let the hands rest on your knees, and we're going to have the palms facing up today, just to allow a sense of invitingness into this gesture. Gently close down your eyes. Let your sit bones root down and the crown of your head reach up towards the sky. And allow your breathing to settle. Begin noticing how it is that you're feeling today. Welcoming in any sensations that you feel. Perhaps noticing how the body and the breath move. And noticing how your mind feels too, whether there are lots of thoughts today. What are the qualities of these thoughts? Noticing if there is a pattern to these thoughts or if they link in any way to your emotional or physical state. And then focusing on an intention, just really allowing that intention to arise out of you. Maybe it's something really simple like being kind to yourself. Or anything else that's coming up for you here today, just let that be. And then take a deep breath into your belly. Let the diaphragm rise. Take a deep breath out through the mouth. One more breath like this, breathing in. And breathing out. Take your time to open through the eyes. And we'll come onto our 4-point position, hands and knees on the earth. Spread all 10 of your fingers wide on the mat, and then allow all 10 toes to come down to you. Starting with some cat-cows. Take a deep breath in and drop the belly, look forwards. As you exhale, rounding through the spine, looking towards the knees. Breathing in, coming forwards. Breathing out, rounding through the spine. One more breath like this, breathing in, dropping the belly. Breathing out, rounding here, press through the hands. Inhaling, come back to a neutral spine. Walk your hands slightly further forwards, come into a half plank position, so allow the pelvis to drop slightly. Shrug the shoulders away from the ears. Take a breath in here. As you breathe out, come down half push-up position. Breathing in, push yourself back up to center. Do that 2 more times. Exhaling, pelvis, shoulders dip. Breathing in, back to center. One more time. Exhaling, this time we'll come all the way down to the earth. Untuck your toes. Inhale, lift through the head and shoulders. Take another breath out here. Breathing in, feel the energy rise up your spine. Breathing out, release the shoulders, the elbows to the back of the mat. Take one more breath like this. Exhaling, chin back towards the earth. Push up through that half push-up position into downward facing dog. Lifting the hips nice and high. Keeping the knees really bent here as you press evenly through both hands. Make sure that the head is relaxed down. And allow the jaw to soften. Just taking a moment here to find a stable position with the hands and push the hips up towards the sky. Notice how your body feels, cultivating that awareness. Next inhalation, bend your knees and tiptoe your feet towards your hands. Take a breath in here, lift through the chest, extend through your spine. And then as you exhale, folding forwards. Inhaling, press the feet into the floor, reach up, lift up. And exhaling, bring the hands to the sides. Take a moment to find Tadasana, mountain pose. Lift up through all 10 of your toes, feet hip distance apart. In the air, spread them wide and as slowly as you can, place them back down on the earth. Lift up through your inner arches, squeeze through the tailbone, and then reach the heart forward. Come back to your intention here. Breathing in, reaching up. Breathing out, folding forwards for Surya Namaskar. Breathing in, lifting through the heart space. As you exhale, let's step back into plank pose. Take a deep breath in here. As you breathe out, knees towards the ground. Shift your weight forwards, come all the way down to your belly. Inhaling, find that extension through the spine, lift the kneecaps. Exhaling, chin back to the ground. Push up through your knees, downward facing dog. Taking one deep breath here. Find the stillness between the movement. Breathing in, bending your knees to look forwards. Step your feet to the front of the mat. Take a breath in here, lift the heart space, extend the spine. Breath out, bend the knees to fold forwards. Breathing in, press the feet to the floor, rise up and reach up. Breathing out, the hands come down to the sides. Take a moment here. One more time, breathing in to reach up, warming the body. Breathing out to fold forwards, bend your knees, come down slowly. Breathing in, extend the spine. Maybe your fingertips can stay on the floor here. Exhaling, step it back to plank pose. Taking a breath in. Taking a breath out to lower the knees and come all the way down to the ground. Inhaling, release the toes, lift up through the crown of the head. Exhaling, push your way back up into downward facing dog. Deep breaths here. Come back to that stillness. Gently bending your knees to look forwards, taking a big step in towards the top of the mat. Inhaling, extend the spine, fingertips to the shins or the floor. This time, exhaling, feet hip distance apart, bend your knees, fold forwards, come down to Uttanasana, forward fold. Release your head, neck, and jaw and gently sway from side to side. Your knees might be super bent here so that it feels more like you're sitting down, so that you can get your fingertips towards the earth. Don't worry about where you are in this position right now. It can take a long time to open through the hamstrings. Next inhalation, again, lift the chest. As you exhale, bring your hands onto the waist, and then inhale, see if you can rise up to standing. Really nice. Take a moment, come back into Tadasana with your feet hip distance apart. Notice how you feel. Inhaling, bring your feet to touch, big toes together. Then you come into chair pose. So exhaling, sit down into an imaginary chair behind you. Bring your hands onto your pelvis. Imagine scooping the pelvis forwards, not so much that we are scooping into the lower back, but just so you can find a neutral position here. Take a moment, release the hands, sit down a little bit deeper, and then check if you can see all 10 of your toes. If not, move your knees back. Option to stay here with the hands in your heart center, or to reach the arms above you, hands shoulder distance apart. Exhaling, see if you can sit a little bit deeper. Check that your lower back is happy Breathing here, 3 more breaths. See if you can find the weight. Where is it in your feet? More weight in the heels, quadriceps working. Take a breath in here and stand back up, hands in the heart center. Inhaling, see if you can lift that right leg high. Really nice. As you exhale, we'll step that right foot slowly towards the back of the mat, coming into a lunging position. So you can bend both knees here, and hands can be hanging by the sides. Take a moment, feel into that right hip flexor, see it lengthening. And then you could stay here if this feels comfortable with the hands, or you could reach up into the arms. What's happened to your breath? See if you can notice where it's gone, how long or short it feels. Gently breathing in. See if you can step your feet together forwards at the front of your mat into a chair position. So hips are sitting down, tailbone is slightly tucked in, neutral pelvis, arms reach up. Really nice. Stay with your breath. Then breathing in to stand all the way up, hands come into the heart center. Same thing on the other side, lifting that left leg high, find that moment of balance. Maybe you're wobbling here, and that's okay. As you step that left foot back, right foot stays grounded, coming into a lunge on the other side. So back knee can bend here if that feels better for you. Feeling into the left hip flexor lengthening. Hands can stay by the sides, shoulders relaxed, or you may like to reach out and up through the heads of the shoulders. What's happened to your breath? Breathing through the nose. Sending some love inwards towards your body. Let's take another 2 breaths here. Feeling into that front foot solidly on the ground. Noticing how the shoulders feel. And then stepping forwards back into chair pose just for a moment. Breathing in, standing back up. Really nice. Hands to the sides. Option to have the feet touching, or you can heel toe your feet out to the side, feet directly underneath the hip bones. So we're going to come into triangle pose. Stepping that left foot out behind you, turn the left foot out slightly. So your front foot is turned to face the long edge of the mat, and the left foot is turned out to face the corner. Reach your arms into a T position, press the soles of the feet into the floor, and then look over your right hand. Breathing in, elongate through the side body of the left hand side, reach the right hand forwards. Imagine you're between 2 panes of glass. As you exhale, let's bring that right hand down towards the right knee as you reach up with the left, feeling the length in both side bodies here. Left arm is reaching up, head can look towards the ground or up towards that extended arm. Both legs are working here. Press the right foot into the floor and breathe. Triangle pose, Uttanasana. Length through the side body as you, with kindness, listen to how your body feels. On your inhalation, reach back up with that left hand. As you exhale, turn your feet to face inwards. So both feet are pigeon-toed now. And then exhale, turn your left foot out so that we're now facing the back of our mat in this triangle position. Take a moment to check your alignment with your feet and then reach your arms away from you. Inhale, left arm this time reaches towards the back of the mat. Grow long through both side bodies, and then bring your left hand down towards the knee, below the knee, not directly on the knee joint, reaching up with the right. Again, check in how your neck feels if you look up or down, and try and find that extension through the side body. Imagine opening your heart space, your chest towards the sky. Strong through both legs. One more deep breath here. Really nice. Breathing in, come back to the center. Again, pigeon toe your feet. Turn your right foot back out again. And then keeping your hands on your hips, bend into your right knee. So we're in this open hip position, pelvis is facing the side of the room. This front knee can be parallel to the earth. Double check that you can see your right big and second toe underneath where your knee is tracking. If not, gently move it out to the side. Then inhaling, reach both arms away from each other, palms face downwards. Look over your front middle finger and sink a little bit lower into that front knee for warrior two pose. Breathing easy here. Let's take 4 more breaths. How can you soften into this pose so that you're strong through the legs, but the mind lets go of tension? Just 1 more breath here. Take a breath in, bring your hands back onto your waist. Straighten that front leg. Exhaling again, turn your feet to both face inwards. Feet are pigeon-toed. And then exhaling, left foot turns out to face the back of the mat. Bring both arms back into your T shape and bend into your left knee for warrior two on the other side. Double check that your left knee is tracking away from your big toe so you can see your big toe on the mat. Then reach your arms away, pelvis faces the side. Shoulders move down the back as you breathe here. And take a moment to feel that strength, that warrior strength into your feet. One more breath like this. Breathing in, let's extend that left leg, hands come back onto the waist. Both feet facing the center, and then turn again to face the front of your mat. Stepping forwards, big toes touching or feet hip distance apart for Tadasana, mountain pose. Crown of the head reaching up towards the sky as you breathe. Maybe you close your eyes here and just notice how the body feels. Feeling the breath moving through the body. Gently opening through the eyes when you're ready. And then slipping that left foot back again. Left foot is turned out. So almost like we're going to come into our triangle pose again. But we'll bend our front knee one more time. So this is our warrior two stance. Right knee is bent. This time we'll bring our right forearm over onto our right upper thigh and extend through the left side body again, like we did in triangle pose. Then reach up with your left arm towards the sky and an option to look up towards that hand. So again, you're feeling the pelvis opening here, pressing the outside edge of your back foot into the floor. Take a few breaths into your rib cage here. And you feel the strength of your feet rooted into the floor, but this openness at the top of your body. Just one more deep breath like this. Breathing in, can you slow motion press into that right foot and rise up to a warrior two stance, reaching away with both arms. Straightening through that front leg, hands come onto the waist. Turning the right foot in, the left foot out for the same thing on the other side. Exhaling, sink into that left knee. Left forearm to the left thigh. Extend the right side body and then reach up. Take a moment here to press the outside edge of your right foot into the floor, the back edge. Creating one long line from your hand to your leg. Look wherever your neck feels comfortable. I'm going to look down today. You could also look up. Let's take 2 more breaths. Can you breathe space into the rib cage? Inhaling, reach up with that right hand. Keep the front knee bent. Come into warrior two pose. Really nice. Let's turn our feet pigeon-toed in, and this time we're going to stay here. So find a comfortable position with your feet. The wider you have your feet, the easier it's going to be for us to come down towards the ground here. And you might like to have a book stacked on top of each other to bring the floor a little bit closer to you here. But today I'm not using any props. Bring your hands onto your waist, and again, find that neutral position with the pelvis. So you're slightly scooping up through the belly, really reaching up through the crown of the head. Bring the hands back onto the waist. Let's breathe in and lift through the chest. Bring the shoulders away from the ears. As you exhale, we're going to fold forwards at the hips, allowing the crown of the head to come towards the floor, and then bringing our hands or our fingertips down. Your knees could be bent here. And then we're just going to see how much space we have. Outside edges of your feet pressing into the floor, lifting the inner arches. Let's take a breath in. Come onto the fingertips or the palms of the hands. Look forwards. Find that extension through your spine. As you breathe out, bend your knees as much as you need to. Try and keep that extension happening so you might not come down very far, and let the head come towards the ground. Now remember that I've been practicing yoga for some time, so if you are not in the same position as me, please be kind to yourself. It really does not matter how far down you come. Just breathe. Taking one more deep breath like this, see if you can move the shoulders away from the floor, away from your ears. Breathing in, let's press into the hands. And then breathing out, bring your hands onto your waist. See if you can rise all the way up to standing. Beautiful. Let's step our feet together. Big toes touching, feet hip distance apart for Tadasana. Take a moment here. So we've been working with some opening of the hips. Maybe you feel that energy in yourself. You could close the eyes again and just notice how the body feels. Can you send some love into that space? Breathing one more breath. Let's take a breath in and reach up through the arms, find length. Take a breath out, folding forwards, finding the ground. Breathing in, fingertips on the earth. Breathing out, stepping back to downward facing dog, lifting the hips nice and high. As you exhale, let's bring those heels and shins to the floor as you come into child's pose. If your head doesn't quite reach the ground, you can bring a block or a cushion underneath it here. Let the arms, the shoulders relax. Allow the body to really rest into the earth. You can close down the eyes and really relax the muscles of your face. Perhaps you notice this energy pulsating through your body here. This life force, this prana we call it, that we've stirred up through our practice. One more round of breath here. Gently pressing into your hands to rise back up. Tucking your toes to find your way into downward facing dog here. And just taking a few rounds of breath here. Knees are bent, heels can be off of the floor. We just want to find that extension through the back, head relaxed. And then when you're ready, walking your hands towards the back of your mat. Bend your knees here. So we're coming into a forward fold. Let your head relax down. Remember to bend your knees. And then you could hold onto the back of your neck. You could hold onto your elbows. Just really let everything hang out here as you breathe. Gently allowing the tension to move away every time you breathe out. Take your time, bring your hands back down to the floor, fingertips, and then heel toe your feet out so that your feet are about as wide as your mat. Take a breath out and sit your hips down, coming into a squat pose. So you might need to rearrange your feet here. Your heels might be really off of the ground and you might have your fingertips just down on the floor, or you may feel more comfortable having your heels back down. This pose is all about practice, so the more that we sit like this, the more we'll be able to open through the shins, the calves, the ankles. Today, just work with where your body is at. Let's keep our fingertips down on the floor. And take some deep breaths here. So breathing in, lift through the crown of the head. Breathing out, feel energy sinking down through the pelvis. Breathing in, crown of the head rises softly. Breathing out, downward moving energy. Inhaling. Exhaling. Take 2 more deep breaths here in your own time. Deepening each breath. And then when you're ready, let's come down into a kneeling position and then walk our hands all the way forwards on our mats. Coming again into that half plank pose. Your toes can be tucked here. Breathing in and then breathing out, coming all the way down towards the mat. So we're going to bring our elbows underneath our shoulders here for Sphinx Pose. Take a moment to press the toes into the ground, lift up through the knees, really engage through the glutes. And this will help to protect our lower back. Press through the elbows. Allow the chin to be parallel to the floor. Can you again find those deep breaths that we were just doing here? Just take one more breath here, relaxing the shoulders, the face muscles. As you exhale, we're going to come down super slowly and bring our hands into a pillow. So imagine draping your body back down onto the floor. Then look over to a side that feels good for you. You could shake your hips from side to side just to release your lower back. And then again, hands come back underneath the shoulders. Tuck the toes, push back up. This time walking back into a child's pose. Tuck your hands by your sides and let the forehead relax down to a pillow or to the ground. See if you're holding any tension in the shoulders and release. Allow your body to be supported here. Just one more breath. Gently breathing in to press up through the hands and then come into a sitting position on the mat. And extend the legs away from us, but keep the knees generously bent here. And it might feel really good for you to sit on a cushion, maybe a blanket, a folded blanket, just to make sure that the pelvis is tilted forwards. So from here, we're going to breathe in, press the hands into the floor, and you may already be feeling something at the back of the hamstrings here. And then as you breathe out, we'll just slowly walk ourselves forwards if we have space. So what we're looking for here is the belly to come down towards the thighs, and that will be the first thing that comes into contact with the legs. Wherever you are, we're going to breathe. You might find you have some more space. It does not matter if you don't. Check in with this conversation you're having with your body. What is this internal dialogue like? Are you comparing yourself or frustrated? Is there any way that you can be kinder in your own conversation to yourself? One more deep breath here. And then as slowly as we came in, we're going to come out of the pose. So walking yourself gently back up to sitting. And then we'll come down and lie on the back, our backs. Take a moment in a restorative rest position. So knock your knees together and let the sacrum relax down on the ground. Just feeling the body melt here. Gently bringing both knees into your chest when you are ready. And take a moment to roll around on the sacrum. Feeling the pelvis, making an imprint of the pelvis on the floor. And then let both of your knees fall over towards the left, coming into a twist. So most likely is that your right shoulder will have lifted off of the ground. You can still reach your right arm away from you, maybe looking over to that right hand side, closing down the eyes. And you allow yourself to relax down here into this posture. Each breath out, you soften a little bit more through the eyes, through the shoulders. When you are ready, gently coming back into the center, untwist. And then take your time to move over to the right. Legs fall over to the right. Left arm comes out. And again, don't worry about how far off your shoulder is off the ground. Just work with your body here. Eyes closing down. And then take your time to come back to the center. Give yourself one last squeeze. And before you come down into Shavasana, feet as wide or wider than your mat. Palms of the hands facing up to receive the energy that you've created in this class. Entire body relaxing into the floor. We'll just finish this class before Shavasana with a couple of really deep breaths. So your next inhale, we're going to breathe into our bellies, let the belly rise. And then as you breathe out, let the belly sink and try and make your exhalation super long. Again, breathing in gently into the belly rises. As you breathe out, the belly sinks, super deep breath out, nice and slow. Just take 2 more breaths like this in your own time. Those exhalations, just letting the whole body relax, throwing away any toxins. Allowing the whole body to rest. And then when you finish those 2 deep breaths, just return to your normal breathing and allow the body to sink here. And you come back to your intention and let your intention suffuse your entire body. As you rest here, coming back to that space of kindness for yourself. That space that really allows you to be exactly who you are with no judgment. Letting your body find a space of stillness and rest. When you're ready, listening to any sounds you can hear around you. Gently feeling the weight of your body as it rests on the ground. Allowing your breath to be steady and rhythmic. And then wiggling your fingers and your toes. Taking a big stretch with your arms above your head. And bringing the knees into the chest. Roll over onto whichever side you choose today. And gently press up to a seated position. Ending the class with our eyes gently closed in the same way that we started in. Coming back to your intention. And seeing how you can let this intention come into your life and serve you. Gathering your hands at your heart center and taking a bow in towards your own body. Thanking it for the wonderful things that it does for us and for this opportunity to practice. Namaste, thank you.